Darshan Modi is our Director of Digital Marketing here at Mavlers, and he spent the past 15 years helping agencies like Ogilvy and Incubator build high performing global teams.
Marketers are evolving from execution roles to strategic orchestration, guiding AI agents that manages overall execution. And also the roles are shifting more from the execution to you should go with right prompts. Have you redefine those prompts? How you rewrite them, how you make sure that that will bring the right outcome. If you see the performance marketing industry, it's more about that how you can automate, leverage those algorithms already redefining in Google Ads, Meta Ads. That's where the things are moving fast, where you can automate the entire bidding segmentation. So it's more about strategy than the execution.
Everyone is talking about AI right now, but very few are actually making it work inside their real teams. That is why we wanted to bring in Darshan Modi. He is our Director of Digital Marketing here at Mavlers, and he spent the past 15 years helping agencies like Ogilvy and Incubator build high performing global teams, set up offshore operations, and roll out automation systems that actually scale without burning people out. So, if you are a leader trying to figure out how to bring AI into your team without creating any of the chaos, or maybe you're just wondering how to stay valuable now that clients have access to the same tools, stay tuned because Darshan has got a lot of practical insights coming your way. We're going to be talking about what roles are shifting, how to scale smarter, and what agencies need to do, or what agencies need to double down on today. Let's jump right in. Welcome, Darshan. I wanted to start this session off by talking about what AI is actually changing about marketing roles today. So, we've heard a lot of people say, right, that AI is going to free up marketers to focus on strategy. And all of that is really cool. But what does that actually look like inside of a real team? Since you've been leading teams of large sizes, in fact, even now you are leading a team that is over 100 folks, what shift are you already seeing? And how should agencies rethink the value that they bring to the table today?
Yeah, I think thank you so much, Risha, for having me in. And you mentioned amazingly well that the market are disrupting with AI and automation. The way it is coming very fast. But specific, if you ask me, marketers are evolving from execution roles to strategic orchestration, guiding AI agents that manages overall execution, reduce the repetitive work, human manpower hours. So I think that's where the role is redefining from the overall execution to strategic, focused, where you can add a more value. And REST AI and automation can help you with overall repetitive work faster, better, with efficient results. And also the roles are shifting more from the execution to you should go with right prompts. How you redefine those prompts, how you rewrite them, how you make sure that that will bring the right outcome, as well as the overall. If you see the performance marketing industry, it's more about that how you can automate, leverage those algorithms already redefining in Google Ads, Meta Ads. That's where the things are moving fast, where you can automate the entire bidding segmentation. You can do all the content testing, ad copy testing. So it's more about strategy than the execution. So it's not nothing to worry about that. It's more about you'll have to adapt fast and move on with the right implementation. That's where things are shaping up well. And believe me, I have read somewhere where, McKinsey in 2024 mentioned that 70% of the marketing production task could be automated by 2030. So it's more about to focus on automation, how you can leverage so that you can stay focused on the strategy, consulting your client right way rather than more focusing on the execution. So execution will be led by these platforms, these automations. That's how things are shaping up. And at Mavlers, we have started, adapting these practices fast. We are exploring, discovering platforms already in, towards the industry of digital marketing. A few I could name straight away. So we are using data slayer for, connecting the bridge between the reportings. In Looker Studio, we are automating all the reports with visual graphs, bringing those insights, predictive generations, as well as we are also leveraging SEMrush, Ahref, Web CEO, where these platforms have, came long way from the in the journey, right? They have also, introducing these tools, features, so that we are leveraging them pretty fast right now, so that we can add a value for our clients in terms of execution and focus more on strategy and consultation.
That's a good point that you touched on, Darshan, because I remember Ben Fitz from Web Profits talk about how the funnel as we know it is dead. The top of the funnel activities that we used to do has entirely changed since the time Google has released the search generative experience, right? With the AI overviews and all of that. Um, no one today is landing on the website, even the landing page itself, people are not even coming over there. So that entirely changes the whole funnel, right? Then in today's day and age, how do you think brands should adjust their top of the funnel game? Like, what can agencies do, or how can agencies help their clients stay visible today?
No, I think a fair observation, and this is how the industry is evolving. And in this, I see that, last week I had a call with one of the agency's partner where we have seen that they are seeing impressions but they are not seeing clicks on their websites, and that's their one of the biggest challenge, and that is not converting into the leads. And it is evidential that you'll have to bring multiple you know strategy in place where with Google's SCG present answers directly into the SERP, and that's you know definitely leading to the fewer clicks. You will see the impressions on Google SERP, but it won't redirect to the website. And similar way, optimizing the page visits into the more of the brand visibility, credibility, structure, inclusions in the content, reaches out to the different platforms, build FAQ schemas, summaries, how to guide, read snippet for AI consumption. So I think this areas are evolving fast, where your entire strategy at top of the funnel is shaping up into a different direction, where users are no more landing into the website, but they are able to see the results either on LLMs, either on Google search, right? And believe me, with Spark Toro in 2024, which is Rand Fiskin, it is clearly evidential that 59% of the searches end without clicks now. So it's something pretty awesome that the industry is changing so fast, and that's how the things are shaping up. And this is something that we all should focus right now, that how we can build the holistic organic marketing strategy, where highly focused reach out to these platforms, how we can be visible on them so that we can leverage them fast.
I love the fact that you mentioned how quickly things are evolving. Marketing as we know it itself is shifting today. I remember Jessica Sprinkle from Sponge, when she had a Q&A with Nithal, was mentioning how the entire role of CMO itself has evolved. People who are focused on the brand side of things now mandatorily have to focus on performance, have to focus on results. Everything is about revenue today. And keeping that in mind, also considering the fact that you have built systems that sort of balance performance and ROI, would love for you to address this for people who are just starting out. If someone is just starting out, what do you think would be a good first move for using AI, especially when it comes to allocating budgets better? Do you have any specific strategies that have worked for you on this front?
No, I think somebody who is, curious, somebody who is learning fast. I think for them, tools like PMax, Meta Advantage Plus, SpyFu, this platforms are pretty awesome when it comes to, managing your dynamic spend allocation. You highly relying on them. You just see how the algorithm is shaping up, how the overall outcome is generating based on this auto, allotted budget. So it is something that you will set the ROS, give the targets, CPA caps, and avoid the manual overrides to protect the overall investment. So with Meta Advantage Plus, it shows that 28% of the lower CPC, or with proper audience signals. So I think something that this platforms are also, bringing those statistics pretty fast, that if you are going with this automation, building those smarter budget calls, you will also see that how this brings the right outcome with minimal human efforts. So that's where, focusing on this platforms, and just to make sure that just don't rely on them, learn from them. It's important that you observe that how this automation brings the outcome and where you'll have to put the right inputs. It's not something you just blindly go and rely. Also important to keep giving the right input data sets so that this platform keep evolving, learning from those insights input, and give the relevant outcome. So I think with one of the brands, which is mid market D2C client, was running the Meta ads, Google search, Amazon sponsor products, but the performance is not that pleasant, right? So, and the ROS dropped 17% over 60 days. So budget were allocated equally across channels regardless of the margin of seasonality. So no centralized control across the AI bidding tools, and no override triggers were in place. So I think that's where the overall strategy comes in place, where post implementing these tools, integration with Sky, cross channel budget monitoring, dynamic reallocation of the budget, then enable the Meta Advantage Plus with ROS targets, and frequency capping. So with this, the overall results have gone completely drastically change in next 45 to 60 days, where 20-25% of the ROS blended increased, and 20 to 25% of the reduction in the wasted spend from poorly attribution campaigns. And I can see that the manual budget that the entire focus was shifted, saved the 6 to 8 hours per week of the resource. So I think with this change, and implementing them fast has given us the amazing results for this brand.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. And you touched on a lot of these tools: PMax, Meta Advantage Plus, SpyFu. And I'm curious because today, every agency, every company, they have access to the same AI tools, right? So, where do agencies still win? You've worked with companies and agencies like Ogilvy and Incubator to deliver value beyond just execution. And I still remember one of our early Q&As with Christophe Chantrain from WPP. He was talking about how they started incorporating AI into their day-to-day um, early on when this wave began, right? So then, Darshan, I would love to ask you, like, how should agencies reposition themselves in today's AI age? What kind of strategic support do you think that clients would still lean on agencies for?
No, I think with agencies, adapting or building this AI automation in house, it's more like they'll have, so tools are there, but agencies can bring, cross client pattern detection, that how in one industry, the entire client is working. they are able to put the tools without strategy. I think they cannot grow now fast. So we have strategy in place, but we don't have platforms automation in place. I think that's where things are changing pretty fast in the agency world. So it's not necessary to build an in-house platforms nowadays. uh, so there was you know a time where people are talking about SaaS, software as a service. But I think in the latest world, service as a software, which is evolving fast. And in this, it is not necessary to build a tool. Go explore, discover the platforms in the market available as per your need, and see the outcome. So it's important to discover the platform and measure the outcome and see the closest outcome as per your, focused it is coming, and try to adopt them pretty fast. So, in one of the, statistics which I have read on HubSpot, that only 17% of the in-house team have, AI use governance framework in place. So it's pretty low, and important that I'm sure this will move fast in the coming months. And I'm referring to Upplers, which is where we are also adapting Writer, Jasper, Claude, Firefly, just to create those integration and building those blueprint for our client strategy. So I think with agencies, you'll have to keep moving fast with the tools, see which tools is helping you to build the right outcome strategy, and this way the things are shaping up pretty fast in your day-to-day strategy execution, client communication, and delivering the results.
I love that. And I remember we also had this GTM analysis of how we've been able to leverage AI tools in our day to day and the kind of benefits that AI was able to provide for our team internally. So, forgive me if I'm wrong, but I remember the stat for search, especially, was that because of these tools, we were able to improve our efficiency by over 60%, which we were able to again contribute to the client projects and help them with newer tasks. Right. And there's a key point that you mentioned in your answer before about content, right? And I would love to dig deeper into that. How do you think, like, what do you think we should do in order for us to keep content aligned with how people are searching now? Let me just be a little more clear over here. Since the search behavior is shifting so fast, we are not talking about SEO being about keywords today, right? It's evolved to be so much more than that. And considering the fact that you have scaled high performing content ops, I would love to know that what's your approach for staying aligned with this changing intent, so to speak. Um, do you have any method that you use to adjust in real time?
Yes, I think amazing that you are touching down to this point, because the intent is the key right now. And search intent is fluid, it's not static. And I there are tools like Clear Scope, SEM Rush, Burst Sumo, that these tools are helping you to identify the content gaps. And this platforms are amazing, legacy platform. These platforms evolved with the journey of search, innovation. The search has, the way it is progressed over the years of time. So these platforms have also evolved. So and building the modular content, so FAQs, comparisons, summary, how to guide, for SEG and AI overviews. It's important to prioritize your SERP format. So how to, definitions, checklist. So I think this are the changes coming pretty fast in the in the content. This is more about the search intent, that users are moving fast. Even the algorithm on the Google search is also changing, that the first fold is more about the AIO. It is not more about the knowledge graph or paid results. So the organic results have gone down. at the bottom of the page. So it is important that the way things are changing, the content strategy should get changed, and you will have to identify the pattern, that which pattern will help you to get result at the first fold. So that's where you can manage the clicks. And similar to that, your content should also get aligned with the LLMs, because the LLMs are also moving fast. And uh, nowadays 60-70% of the information searches are happening on the LLMs. So if your content is not optimized for LLMs, so you are losing those audience users, because the LLMs are also giving those reference link from which you can have the users land on your website or the respective landing page, and you can track them in Google Analytics under the referral traffic. So important that adapt this priority formats, and build the content around that. So in one of the case studies I was referring to at Surfer SEO, so semantic match in content boost that 37% of the overall growth in terms of clicks, in terms of CTR business. So I think that's where they have changed the overall content strategy, and they have seen this growth coming to their way. So the fast you move, the fast you can leverage.
That's really an interesting thing that you mentioned about moving fast today. And of course, what better way to move fast than paid, right? But one of the things that we're seeing come up a lot more is that with platforms like Google and Meta pushing for automated bidding, it's hard for us to even tell what is actually working. It almost feels like, this black box bidding system where marketers are feeling stuck, or, they're just watching performance, but they're not getting the kind of clarity on what exactly is going up or down, right? So, to them, what would be your advice? How would you say that, how can they keep performance on track when these systems are not even telling you what's actually going on? Do you have a process for staying in control?
No, I think with systems, I think I love to use platforms, as I said earlier, right? And it's more about to feed the system with right data sources, right inputs. So as I said earlier, that apply the target ROS, CPA caps, limit your impressions. So I think these are the areas should be focused, certainly while you are defining the overall campaigns. And start leveraging platforms. Ad analysis is there, optimizer is there. These platforms are help you track the performance drift, and give you uh, a good insights where you can prevent your waste, which is more about spend. And inject the custom conversion signals, just to inform AI what real business success look like. Because if you're not giving those insights, that okay, what is my overall business objective, because every channel has a different objective to measure. So organic marketing seeing with different measurement, performance marketing seeing with different, content marketing seeing with different. It's important to give those conversion signals, so that AI automation can connect those dots and see the actual business look like. So campaign with, just giving you an example, that campaign with weekly bid audits see 22% of the fewer overspend. But with this, now that it is not moving that fast. You have a weekly spend, but if you want to increase your spend for next couple of weeks, you can reach to those targets. But important to keep monitoring things on a weekly basis, connect the signals, that how the signals are moving as per your foreseeable projection. And 60% of the AI managed campaigns without logic underperform. So on business KPI. So this is something where things are moving fast when you are highly relying on the AI automation, where you just need to monitor and see the changes it is helping you or not, and keep feeding the system again with those insights, so that will give you the right outcome in the middle of the month, so that end of the month when you are monitoring the holistic performance, you know you have hit the mark. So this is what we are also trying at Mavlers, which is more about to keep monitoring this results. This is what we want to achieve, right? And we are keep moving fast with this structure approach that we have taken, that restrict the impressions, keep the CPA cap, make sure that target ROS is aligned, and see the holistic business view. So towards that we want to reach, and that's where we are helping our agency partners client to move fast in terms of we are able to retain them, we are able to give them the results that they are expecting from us.
That's interesting that you pointed out agencies and clients, and we love how agencies love to move fast and break things fast, and that sort of performance focus and that speed is something that we love a lot, right? So I would love to know that, considering the fact that performance teams today, they are expected to pump out these high volumes of really personalized creatives at the speed at which they have to pump out. um, how do you deliver this high quality creative at scale without frying out the teams? And I would love for you to draw on your experience, handling teams for brands like Merkel and Ogilvy. When you needed these kind of dynamic creatives at scale, how did you do it without overloading your teams? I would love for you to share your playbook for launching faster while keeping that level of high quality.
No, I think with this, it's more like to leverage the ready to use platforms, right? At least for the static creatives, we can leverage smartly.ai. Zvox is there. This platforms are help you to build the automated creative variants. So it's something that, as I said earlier, discovery matters the most. Uh, Service as a software is a new world that things are shaping up, moving fast. So you just need to build and maintain a creative template bank, headline, CTA formats, and with asset library via brand folder, uh, and Bender. So these are the platforms where you can keep a track of your assets. Uh, Creative, iteration sprint, QA protocols to ensure the consistency is there. You can avoid the overall fatigue. So leveraging a platform is one thing, but it's important to give right instructions that what is the actual output you want to achieve. Because while using these platforms, consistency is something that you can always face a challenge. But if you are able to build your checklist protocols, your iteration sprints, and you feed those information right way, you can consistently get that output in a right way. So if I talk about one of the tools, smartly, so user report 70% of the reduction in production time through templating. So using this platform, you can reduce the 70% of the time in production. And similar way with Meta, creative fatigue begins to reduce the performance within 14 days without, rotation. So Meta is something pretty important when it comes to the ad creatives. You'll have to keep rotating your ads. And if you're not rotating, you are losing out those right audience, because that's where the new flavor, new touch, new message wants every time. So I think at Mavlers also we are trying to build this fast with centralized DAM, DCO setup, where we can see the faster turnaround, and making sure that the right QA checklist at scale ensures that every key, creative meets the overall brand and performance guideline. Because ultimately, after doing all the automation, reducing the production time, it's important that your right metrics, success metrics gets hit. And There are platforms. So there is a recent platform, Go Marble, I came across. So they have built the specific ad analyzer, which is more about, they have connect the LLMs with the Meta platform. You just give the ad copy, they'll start giving you the insights, that okay, how the ad look like, the hook, the message, the CTA, the banner, the text, and how the industry is doing. So the competitors are doing, which is there in Meta library. So they'll give you the score, and they'll give you the clear bifurcation or distribution, that okay, these are the three areas for marketers to make sure that it is aligned with the audience, and these are the areas for designers or the creative team, that okay, you can work on these things to make sure that things will be consistent with brand guidelines, with alignment structure. So they distribute this pretty well, that it is easy for a marketer to connect with the creative designers, or for the system they are using to give those instructions. So as I said, people are moving fast, there are companies building a type of platform. It's just about to discovery and exploration, and see if it is helping you and your agency to take that decision and move fast.
That's an insightful point that you mentioned. And with these tools giving you that sort of data, that volume of data, historic data, with which you can do that level of predictive analytics, the confidence that you can have, like a marketer can have, while taking those decisions is absolutely invaluable. But that said, we can't discount the fact that teams today are fearing that AI would replace them. It is all the rage that we're seeing today, right? So, considering the fact that one of the biggest hurdle, at least when it comes to embracing AI, is for getting people to trust them, and knowing that you have mentored these large teams before, you've led these large teams before. In fact, currently you are leading a team of 100 plus people in it. I would love for you to talk about how you get that buy in without freaking team members out, like without them feeling scared of being replaced or the other fears that they have.
In one of my recent posts on LinkedIn, I have mentioned that, and this is what I believe. And I see that AI or automation will not take jobs. It's more about to give you a edge that you can leverage for your day-to-day campaigns, day-to-day operations, strategy, consultation with the client. It's just that how fast you make yourself available, make yourself believe that okay, this is not about taking my job, this is more about to help me to build better output, that gives the faster results. I can do things at scale with minimum human effort. So I see that uh, with AI. So recently, I think we started with AI Champion, where we are reaching out to the team members to ensure that bring your best version out of yourself, where leverage the platforms or any exploration that you have done. So let's make sure that you present in front of the larger group, that have you have done it, what research you have done it. uh, so recently, one of the team members from the content marketing, leverage the Pitchbox. So Pitchbox is amazing legacy platform. uh, Again, they are also evolving fast, moving fast in terms of reaching out to the right prospect, in terms of acquiring those quality backlinks with right criterias, so that team member got a chance to present how he has leveraged the platform, and able to achieve 60% of the link using that platform for the client within the criteria, and that has reduced the overall time in terms of sending those emails, responses, follow up, negotiation. So pretty awesome that people have started leveraging this this type of platform. And similar way, as I mentioned about the Go Marble, again, one of the platforms explode where, with meta ads, rather than with human, eyesight, with human emotional connect, the platform is giving you that insight that, okay, how is your ad performing with the industry, with the landing page, with the audience and the signals. And that's where, helping you to, re-strategize your things, faster decisions, give you the next foreseeable outcome with insights and predictions that this is what I can do. And if I'll implement this fast, let me measure it for next 15 days and see whether it is helping me or not. So I think I see this is more about a career growth rather than a threat. It's something that, important, that adapt and absorb, keep learning where the industry is moving, how the industry is shaping up. And even with performance marketing, as we see that performance max is coming, automated bidding is coming, with meta advantage plus is coming. It's more about you to be strategic, consultative, with business mind. Let this platform do the execution. Let this platform give the outcome. You just feed the right data sets, data source, do the right integration with the platforms you want to do, and let the platform do this job of your day-to-day operations. You monitor it on time, do the audits. So I don't see this as a threat. I see this is a opportunity, and how the world is moving, how the industry is shaping up, and every single person is, talking about this. It's more about the adaptability and your own buying, that okay, this is coming. If I'm not leveraging, I'll stay behind of the race. And that's the harsh reality.
It is, it is. We have to absolutely move at the pace at which the world is moving. Otherwise, we're going to be left behind. And I love the way that you phrased it, that it's not a threat. It's just the new reality. And
And the fast you accept it, it is
yeah,
easy for you
true.
to go through that pain later stage.
Absolutely true. And I think on that fact, we should also address the fact that there are 10 million AI courses out there, right? But one of the biggest challenges, no one has got the time. So how can agencies upskill their team? Or, how do you build AI skills into the current day to day without adding more onto your teammates' plates? I would love for you to share your insights on that.
So I think what we are doing right now, so every second Friday of the month, we have the knowledge sharing session where one has to voluntarily come and present, okay, what has been explored, whether it is a workflow, whether it is a platform, whether it is a prompt that has delivered you the result. So we are building the prompt library, right? Now with this prompt library, it is a reusable framework that we have built, and we want everyone to participate. And we are encouraging them by, giving a platform, as well as, the rewards. So important for an individual to stay aligned. uh, Referring to the courses, we have our own PNC, people and culture team. We have the L&D team. So we are building those courses. We have courses available where, people can leverage, as well as a quarterly IDP, which is individual development program, where we are every quarter we are focusing on two or three areas which is critical for an individual. So, for an example, a team member from performance marketing, it's important for that person to leverage this performance max, meta advantage plus, automated bidding. So, we are ensuring that uh, the IDP is, you know, created in a way for a quarter that, these areas which are in focus get touched, train, just to make sure that that team member gets aligned fast. Similar way with other departments as well. where we have a personalized IDP program as per the role that they are playing, where they can add a lot more value. So a level wise, we have, distributed this across the team, and we are closely monitoring every quarter that whether they have hit the mark, whether they have not, and just to make sure that on a monthly basis, fortnightly basis, we are reaching out to we are reaching out to them and monitor that how they are moving fast in this. So knowledge sharing sessions are there, the overall, AI Fridays we are saying, then prompt of the day, a type of sessions. I think this is something that we are trying, and make sure that environment within the team gets changed slowly and gradually, rather than that conservative approach uh, of working without this platform AI. So I think this change will certainly helping us right now to move fast in this journey.
Absolutely. And I think you've made learning really fun now because learning doesn't seem like this new task. It just feels like business as usual, right? Nice. And then finally, I would love to pick your brain on how people can choose the right tools, for them, the right AI tools for them. So every day, we're seeing so many AI tools out there. And I myself remember how frustrated I was when these AI tools were not able to live up to the hype that they had created on their homepage. Considering the fact that even in this conversation, rather, you've mentioned about 10 odd tools, maybe more. So you know this world inside out, right? So keeping that in mind, I would love to address what your thought process has been. You've tested tools, you've built these internal automations, you know how to separate the wheat from the chaff, right? So when you are deciding on what to build, what to buy, what to ignore, what are your personal frameworks when it comes to figuring out which AI tool is actually worth the hype?
So I see there is no framework at this moment. If I what I see right now, it's more about with your own experience, right? So if you ask me how I pick the tool, how I explore the tool, and then see whether it is a fitment or not, I see that first is impact. That what impact you want from that tool or platform. Then I see that integration, how easy, or with the right integration, what data I'll be able to pull. Then see the ease of the platform, because platforms are there. It's important to have that ease in the navigation, in the structure, and then the control, what type of controls these platforms provide. And the last but not the least is the cost, because it's important to stay aware before investing that what is the return on investment that you want to bring from that platform when you go for it. Do your testing fast, validate as soon as possible, and see the scale, and ultimately beyond ROI. This is something also important to see as a factor for you to move fast in the exploration phase, because you cannot keep exploring. You'll have to come to a point where you can fix a platform, and then you scale that. When you scale the platform, you learn from the platform. But it's more about just to make sure that there is a data risk associated with this, there is a complexity associated with this, as well as how much adaptation your team will bring post your doing this discovery analysis. So keep all of this into the consideration before you just go and pick one platform. It all starts from the top, that how your top leadership is exploring, discovering these platforms fast, how they are spreading the awareness within the team, how they are building that environment within the team. So, and beyond that, it's more about the awareness that, okay, let's explore, but towards the which direction, keeping what areas into the consideration, right? So I think this I would not say it's a framework, but this is what the learning and experience over the period of time while exploring and discovering these platforms.
No, absolutely. And the point that you mentioned about founder-led decisions, it has to come from the top down. I believe that would also give the team a lot of confidence when moving forward in such an uncertain era, right? Thank you so much, Darshan, for joining us. Thank you so much for making this happen. We have spoken about all of these points around how the marketing is evolving, what the new roles would look like, and how people can scale smarter in today's AI driven world. And I am sure that this is going to add so much value for everyone who is watching. And I can't wait to have the next session with you, and I can't wait to pick your brain further. But thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.